Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into one of the most visually stunning, and let's face it, absolutely tragic stories of the 20th century, the final voyage of the RMS Titanic. We're going to explore this monumental historical event through the lens of a highly realistic, ultra-cinematic documentary. By breaking down its dramatic visuals, the lighting, and the emotional storytelling, we're going to see exactly how the filmmakers brought this incredibly dark night to life. So let's step back in time. Picture this, a massive ship gliding across the open Atlantic right at sunset. It's this gorgeous golden hour scene, but when you put it against the hyper-realistic ocean atmosphere, it instantly sets this haunting tone. We all know that this beautiful, massive feat of human engineering is completely destined for a cold, dark ocean. The sheer scale of it against all that endless water, captured with those deep shadows, is breathtaking, but man, it is incredibly foreboding.
Section 1. Dreams on the Ocean. Human Ambitions.
Beyond the iron, the millions of rivets, and the engineering marvels, this journey was really all about the human element. The massive scale of the ship was pretty much matched only by the scale of the ambitions of the people on board. On one side, you have the absolute pinnacle of luxury. We're talking rich passengers dining, dancing, just surrounded by this elegant, historical atmosphere. But then look at the other side. Down below deck, we see emotional close-ups of poor immigrant families. Their expressions are just so hopeful, full of dreams for a new life. It brilliantly illustrates this massive class divide. Vast wealth right alongside people in steerage, all relying on the exact same iron hull.
Section 2. Warnings in the Dark. A Shift in Fate. But as we know, those dreams slammed into reality pretty fast. Let's look at how the suspense builds as the environment drastically shifts. We hit nightfall, and the ship is speeding through freezing waters. A thick fog rolls in, cold stars above. Then, just minutes later, the crew inside the control room starts getting iceberg warnings. You can literally feel the atmosphere growing tense. And then, terrifyingly, mere moments before impact, the lookouts suddenly spot a giant iceberg dead ahead in the pitch darkness. This shrinking window of time just evaporates before our eyes. The vast, open ocean suddenly feels totally claustrophobic, and their time to react just vanishes.
Section 3. The Unthinkable Collision. Force of Nature. This is it. This is the exact moment where the unstoppable force of nature violently clashes with human hubris. Impact. Thousands of tons of ice crashing against the ship. Metal groaning. The sheer force of it is unimaginable. Almost instantly, freezing seawater begins rushing in, completely flooding the lower decks. The emotional chaos starts right here. Passengers below are frightened, they're confused, and the water is rising incredibly fast. Going from a peaceful, starry night to utter survival mode in seconds, it's jarring.
It really makes you stop and ask, how does the unimaginable actually become reality? How does the safest, most luxurious ship in the entire world find itself totally at the mercy of the freezing ocean in a matter of minutes? We've seen the physical collision, sure, but the human panic and the total confusion that follows is where the true terror of this historical documentary really shines through.
Section 4. Panic and Haunting Melodies. Emotional Chaos. The horrific reality is setting in now across every single deck, and it creates a truly terrifying atmosphere. The evacuation is just scattered and totally overwhelming. You've got terrified families sprinting across the tilting deck in sheer panic. You have these scarce lifeboats being lowered into the pitch-dark ocean. Down below and out in the water, people are trapped in the icy grip of the Atlantic, calling out for help. But the real gut punch? Amidst all of the spreading chaos, the musicians continue to play. It creates this deeply haunting, emotional vibe. It's this desperate, almost beautiful attempt to maintain some dignity as their world is literally falling out from under them.
Section 5. The Final Plunge. Cinematic Destruction.
And here we reach the climax of the tragedy, watching the sheer scale of this cinematic destruction unfold. It happens in these brutal steps. Step 1, the massive Titanic slowly, unstoppably tilts right into the freezing Atlantic. It's a massive, haunting visual. Then, step 2, the ship literally breaks apart under the immense stress. You are seeing the absolute physical limits of iron and steel completely failing. Finally, step 3, the massive wreckage sinks entirely beneath the ocean surface. These steps narratively map out the indifferent, mechanical reality of the ship's demise. It's systematic, it's inevitable, and it's absolutely devastating to watch.
Section 6. Echoes from the Deep. silent, dark ocean.
The aftermath is captured so beautifully, yet so tragically. Imagine a silent, pitch-dark ocean sitting perfectly calm under the moonlight. The only evidence that a massive vessel was just there is a scattering of floating debris. It's an incredibly haunting atmosphere. The documentary then bridges time, transitioning to the deep underwater wreck that we discovered years later. We're taken through these breathtaking exploration scenes, and it ends with a final shot of the Titanic wreck resting silently, permanently at the bottom of the sea. It is a profoundly emotional ending to such a tragic story.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to chew on. What does the Titanic's silent resting place actually teach us about human ambition and the immense power of nature? We built this massive monument of luxury and iron, right? A floating palace of dreams, only for it to be completely humbled by an indifferent, freezing ocean. It's a really stark historical reminder of just how fragile we are. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. I hope breaking down these cinematic scenes helped you grasp the profound narrative here. Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.